The military has been using unmanned aerial vehicles or drones for years for surveillance and even attacking opposing forces in a number of wars. But there are great applications for these pilotless planes in the civilian world as well. According to the experts, things like search and rescue missions or dropping food to lost bushwalkers. As the industry continues to grow, an international competition was held at Kingaroy this week, with competitors having to drop an aid package with precision. The competition was open to universities, schools and hobbyists, but there were plenty of entrants under 18. Christina Harrison reports Redcliffe College took out prizes in the schools and universities category thanks to an enthusiastic school club.
What a way to spend part of the school day.
Launching!
These students from MUROC College at Redcliffe belong to the school's radio-controlled aeroplane club, where they get to fly their planes a couple of days a week and after school. The club has about 20 members, most with a passion for aviation.
I only just started flying this year, but I've been wanting to do it for a long time now. We fly planes, we also build them, maintain them. I'd like to be a fighter pilot and also fly at international competitions with radio control stuff.
John Felmingham hadn't even considered flying model aeroplanes until he heard about the club. Now his sights are set on an aviation career.
I probably wouldn't have got into it if it wasn't for the school, because there's other clubs around and their joining fee is very expensive because you need to pay for insurance and all that. But by doing it at the school, we have our own facilities. We're covered by school insurance no matter where we go. If we're flying with other school teachers, our insurance covers us. I love electronics, and especially electronics into planes. You can mix my two favourite things together, and in the Air Force there's a job called an avionics technician, which is pretty much an aircraft electrician.
The club is the brainchild of computer teacher Anthony Banks, a self-confessed model aircraft enthusiast.
Which way is the wind coming from?
That way to the hangars.
It was set up 3 years ago to encourage students to spend more time outdoors and to get them thinking about a career in aviation.
It's really good to get kids sort of away from their toys at home, such as computers and PlayStations, and just out in the oval, out in the open air.
It's really good. It's a good attitude that everyone has. There's the occasional crash, but you just fix it up, put it back together.
Some of the students' parents have rediscovered their love of flying.
And we found that with our Friday after school flying, you get the dads that come out of the woodwork that flew when they were kids. You know, they flew the big balsa glow plug, you know, kind of models.
When the opportunity arose to fly a plane in a competition with $10,000 prize money up for grabs, the students jumped at the chance. They immediately signed up for the UAV challenge at Kingaroy and set about building their own pilotless aircraft.
We actually designed a plane off a one that got donated to us by a person, and we copied it. Luke and I together drew it into the computer using a graphics program, and then from that we printed out blueprints and just cut it using a hot wire. It has what is called a co-pilot. It's this sensor on top here. It senses temperature difference between the ground and the sky, and creates an artificial horizon in its computer system, and by keeping it level, it can actually keep the aircraft level. We've got a height sensor in the front. There's a wireless video camera mounted underneath that goes down to Luke's laptop, and he communicates to me but via two-way radios about height and heading. All right, ready for load?
John Felmingham flies the plane while Luke Truan tracks its movement and decides when to drop the load.
John, I'm picking up a lot of wind.
They've been practicing weekly for the past 6 months.
If we're too high, then I've got to drop a bit before. But if we're too low, then we just don't drop it at all.
Their mission to deliver an emergency package to a bushwalker lost in the harsh Australian outback. Supported by Boeing, the competition promotes and highlights the development of military UAV technology for civilian applications.
The civilian applications are huge. There are things like border patrol, power line inspection, pipe inspections. It's really huge. We really do want UAV technology to blossom, and the way to do that is to get people involved.
Using UAVs lowers operational costs and reduces the risk for pilots in some situations.
Certainly if you're flying power line or any sort of low altitude inspection task, it's a dangerous job.
Industry experts who've watched them in action say the students from Muller College have risen to the occasion.
Yeah, these kids are just unbelievable, Chris. They've just put so much effort in, it's not funny. They've put other things aside, other interests aside, and just really knuckled down and done what's had to be done.
No matter the outcome of the competition, the experience will undoubtedly inspire many young people and perhaps set them on the path towards a promising career in the aerospace industry.
This field is growing largely, rapidly, and we need the people to ensure that it becomes a viable industry.
Christina Harrison reporting. And that's our show for this week. Until next time, goodbye.